Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Saratoga Racecourse here on Friday. It is the 12th of August 2022. Going to look at the stakes races on the program from Saratoga, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean it around the world. Let's look at the stakes action, races 3, 6, and 8 from Saratoga. The third race, it's John Morrissey Handicap. It's going for a purse of $125,000. Races for 3-year-olds and upwards, state breds here. 6 horses are going to the main track, the distance of ground of 1,200 meters, or the distance of ground of 6 furlongs on the Saratoga main track. 1,200 meters, 6 furlongs in the Morrissey. And every year, it seems like they're running this race at a different distance. Forever it was always 7 furlongs, I think, or 6.5. Then it was either 6.5 or 7. Then they moved it to the whatever one it wasn't for so many years. Now it's 6 furlongs. Next year it's probably going to be 5.5. I can't. Gulfstream does that a lot. They're never consistent with their turf races with the distances and the for their stake schedules. What can you do? My top selection, I'm going to go with the 6-horse NY Traffic or New York Traffic. Let's go 6-2-1-3 in the superfecta. 6-2-1-3 super. Top selection, 6-horse New York Traffic. 5-year-old horse by Cross Traffic. Safi Joseph Jr. trains this one. Ira Ortiz Jr. gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 30th of July at Saratoga. 6 furlongs in the Alfred Vanderbilt Handicap, and he finished 4th by 6 lengths. Nobody was catching Jackie's Warrior that day. He ran a good race on the front end. This horse just kind of stalked and couldn't keep up. It wasn't the day to win. When this horse runs against state breds, he runs great races. He's won his last 3 against them. He won the affirmed success against state breds, going 6 furlongs at Belmont in the spring, winning by 1 3/4 lengths on the front end all throughout. Came back to 100 buyer that day. Came back, and before that against state breds, or previous race against state breds, which was the Huntsett Handicap on Empire Showcase Day in the slop at Belmont in the fall. He won by 8 3/4 lengths. He came from behind that day, but a little bit wide, but he got the job done from the wide postra. 90 buyer. It was a good buyer in the slop. And then his race before that, where he ran against state bred, was May the 20th or May 2nd of 2021. An optional 45 at Belmont going 7/8, won by 6 3/4 lengths, a 103 career best buyer. That was a very good run. His races in between against Open Company haven't been half bad, but when he runs against state breds, that's where he really shows up. Coming here today, I know he's a very heavy favorite. I'm going to single him in the early multi-race wagers. But to recount my selection for the third from Saratoga, it's the John Morrissey Handicap. Let's take the 6-horse NY Traffic or New York Traffic, 6-2-1-3 in the superfecta for me. The 6th race from Saratoga, it is the Union Avenue Handicap. It's going for a purse of $125,000. Race for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. State breds again. We have a field of 7 horses going to the main track. Again, the distance of ground of 1,200 meters, or the distance of ground of 6 furlongs on the Saratoga main track. 1,200 meters, 6 furlongs here in the Union Avenue. Top selection, I'm going to go with the number 4 horse here, the 4-horse Bank on Anna. Let's go 4-3-7-2 in the superfecta. 4-3-7-2 super. Top selection of 4-horse not Dreaming of Anna. Bank on Anna. 3-year-old filed by Central Banker. Philip Serpi trains. Jose Lascano gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 23rd July at Saratoga. 6 furlongs, allowance race, $115,000. This horse had a horrible trip. She had the check going down the backstretch. She was very wide. She moved a little bit late, but it wasn't anything spectacular. Coming here today with a better trip, could be more forwardly paced, involved in the race, I think she can improve. Coming here quick off the refreshing, I think that's going to be key for her today. 2 back run 20th of May at Belmont, 6.5 in a state bred option 45. Went by a half a length that day. She was with them early on. She only had 3 other rivals, but when she got the lead, she kept going. A very good game victory for her there. And then the New York Stallions at Aqueduct, 6.5 on the 24th of April. He finished 3rd by 3 1/4 lengths that day. It was just very wide and never really got going. Might need the run there. And then the race before, I thought it was terrific. Probably one of the best races of lifetime up until that point. 6 furlongs and optional 80. First time facing winners in quite a while. The horse won by half a length and had a horrible beginning. Stumbled out of it. Took out of it early on, but really closed up well late. Time to finish well. Great ride by Jose that day. And then the main special week before that in late January at Aqueduct, 6 furlongs on a very cold day. Winning by 6 on the front end all throughout. This horse won by fun on a track that was very speed favoring and very weird at times during that. So late January Aqueduct meet. But coming here today, trading well. I'm going to give this horse a shot. So to recount my selection for the 6 from Saratoga, it is the Union Ave Handicap. Let's take the 4-horse Bank on Anna, 4-3-7-2 in the superfecta. The 8th race now from Saratoga. It's the featured. It's the Shipman Handicap. It's going for a purse of $125,000. Race for 3-year-olds and upward state breds here. We have a field of 7 horses going to the main track. The distance of ground of 1,600 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile out of the Wilson Mile chute. 1,600 meters, 1 mile over the Wilson Mile. And I like these mile races. They're not carting so many of them, which I like also. I was afraid when they added the mile race to Saratoga that they were going to get rid of the mile and eighth races. But we've seen quite a few mile and eighth races this year, and it's not bad at all. My top selection here, I'm going to go with the number 6 horse, Market Alert. Let's go 6-1-4-7 in the superfecta. 6-1-4-7 super. Top selection 6 horse, Market Alert. 4-year-old gun by Defani Bone. Jose Ortiz gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing. The horse finally found his way to the winner's circle in the Saginaw at Belmont, mile 16th and 10th of July. Winning by 2.5 lengths. This horse sat back early, a little bit wide, but when this horse gamed it out late, the horse got the job done. I thought it was a very good return trip to the winner's circle and a very good race for him where he settled well. 2 back, he wasn't settled at all because he broke through the gate before the race at Belmont, 1 mile on the 28th of May. He finished 6 by 12.5 lengths, very rambunctious. He just wasn't settled that day, and he was a big ball of nerves. And then before that, on the 30th of April at Belmont, mile 16th off 6-2, finished 3rd by 5 lengths. He was dueling early on, wicked pace fractions, and he just couldn't keep up late. It wasn't his day to win, but I do like the race before that, an allowance race, 82,000 at Aqueduct, 1 mile on 27th of March, winning by 3 3/4 lengths. He really put on a show in the front end, an all-around good race. He's 3-0 here at Saratoga, but he's running the wrong races, I thought, locally. The one place came here last August, 5.5 off turf in the state bred optional 45 claimer, finishing 2nd by neck. He just couldn't catch the winner who just ran that better race. But coming here to the mile trip, where I don't know if he needs to lead. I think he could get a good tracking trip. I'm going to use him here. It wouldn't surprise me if the 1-horse Bank It wins. He's 4-1 over this track, but he has 2 places. He only finished out of the money once, but he hasn't started here in 2 seasons. His form in 2021 wasn't bad. He won the commentator, earning a 105 buyer, winning by a baker's dozen. Came back to run the Monmouth Cup, where the horse finished an okay 3rd. Seasonal reappearance at Oaklawn, needed the race, and then ran an okay 6th in the Godolphin Mile. Coming here today, again, good speed in front of him. It wouldn't surprise me if he closed up to win this race. But to recap my selection for the 8th from Saratoga, it's the Shipman Handicap. Let's take the 6 horse, Market Alert. Give kudos to the 1-horse Bank It. 6-1-4-7 super. 6-1 in your multi-race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.